Hey guys, welcome back to another Guild Wars 2 video. So today what I would like to talk about is the End of Dragons live stream, at least my opinion of it. I did a summary of it, just like 3 minutes long to just wrap up whatever there's stuff to talk about on it. And so I just like to give you my opinion of what I thought about the live stream. So let's start off with the sea turtles. Oh man, Anet, I never would have thought that they could implement another mount that had another function than what we already have. Like, geez, how did they even manage to do that? I just don't. I guess the sky's the limit now, because if they can come up with other stuff, like let me know down below in the comments that if there is any other mounts that they can add into the game that we do not have an ability of, because I'm just curious now, because I never ever thought that we would be able to get a mount to let our friends ride with, like that never came to mind. So yeah, I'm excited to see the sea turtles in actions. And it's also too bad that they mentioned in the live stream about the sea turtle being like slow or something. They said it was gonna match a turtle speed, and I'm not sure what they meant about that. I think they are trying to say like maybe it's slower than the other mounts, but maybe faster than sprinting or faster than having a swiftness. Maybe, I don't know, but they didn't go into too much detail about how fast the turtle is going to be. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the sea turtle. And yeah, being two-player mount as well. Could they have done maybe five-player? Imagine if they allowed five-player mounting. I mean, how OP would that be, guys? Let me know down below if two-player was good enough, or would you want more players on it? Like, I want to see what you guys think about having more players in on one mount than just having that two-player limit. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. So next off is fishing. So like a lot of people have a lot of different hype around fishing. I'm unsure or not too familiar with fishing in games, or at least in MMORPGs. I know a lot of you out there played other MMOs and they had fishing in the game, and I guess it worked for those games. But as for me, I've never seen it too often, and I've never really been too I'm neutral with it. Like fishing is a good way to gather some stuff. Like it's just like chopping wood in this game, or gathering nodes. I think it will be in this game. So I don't know what is all the hype around fishing is, but hopefully they are able to implement fishing creatively and maybe more rewarding to do as an activity, just like gliding and mounts that they implemented for the other expansions. So I have faith in ANET being able to implement fishing in a way that makes it fun. So hopefully we can see something like that. And again, comments down below why like people are so hyped about fishing, because I don't understand it and I want to. I'm an open mind. I have played RuneScape. That's the only other MMO that I played that had fishing, and did not have an appeal for it. The only reason why fishing was good in RuneScape was because it heals a lot and it was cheap to do. So yeah, just let me know in other MMOs what kind of fishing, like how did they implement it that made it so fun. And yeah, I'm open to suggestions, or I'm open to ideas. I love different opinions and ideas. So like one mind can't do everything. So yeah, let me know down below. And yeah, next off is the skiffs, or the boat that they have. Um, Again, I don't know how they're going to implement boats in the game, since we already have skimmers. Skimmers are the mounts that are able to travel underwater and over water. So if they have boats, what's use of our boats if we have skimmers already, except for that boats you can fish. So what I would love to see on the boats are actually like cannons or boats skills that you can like attack while on the boat with the boat skills. So you're gonna have like five different attacks on the boat, and you could just shoot cannons, or do something to enemies in the water, or on top of the water, or whatever. And if they implement something like that, that would probably be something unique and fun. I think they could do something like that. It's definitely not with not far off from what they are capable of doing. And hopefully we can see something like Assassin's Creed Odyssey boat combat and stuff like that, or Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Or something like that. We will see. I guess we'll see how they're gonna implement the game with boats. Yeah, I'm excited to see what they're gonna do with the boats idea. Right now, it seems like we don't have too much information about what's gonna happen with boats, but a lot of people in the community think like it's just another gimmick that might not be exciting to announce or something. But hey, this is ANET. They can add in whatever they want, and usually, normally within something new that they add is always favorable. And whenever they announce something, it's always not favorable. Remember when they first announced gliding, when they announced mounts? A lot of people, the community, did not take it so well. Even Wooden Potato said mounts were not, good for the game, and yet he was proven wrong. And but I actually loved the gliding and mounts initially. I never was against it. So I'm also not against ANET putting boats, fishing, sea turtles, and stuff like that. So yeah, we're just gonna have to see what ANET has in store for us for these kinds of stuff. So next thing on the list is the Gen 3 Legendary. Oh my goodness, this is a hot topic for a lot of people because people are saying that the Gen 3 Legendary, they're like Black Lion chest skins or keys that you buy off the Black Lion trading post, and it's like it seems like a lazy way out for designing these weapons because legendaries are normally supposed to be unique and have their skins all on their own, just like Gen 1 and Gen 2 legendaries. They all were designed separately, and they were designed in a way that they were unique to each other. But for the Gen 3, they're gonna all be the same. So maybe, just maybe, like the Gen 3 could be slightly cheaper to make, just so that the community will be more able to access the legendary, or it could just be the same value. Who knows? But I think the Gen 3 legendary is fine. I mean, most of the time when people are skinning their outfits and stuff, they're not normally holding their legendary weapons that they created. Like, for example, if you're like going for fashion wars, you're most likely gonna use a different sword than Bolt or the Shining Blade. If you were playing a Mesmer, for example, I mean the Mesmer will be the Shining Blade, but let's say you were using a sword as an Elementalist, there's probably a lot more aesthetically pleasing or more theme sword out there for a elementalist to carry. So I mean, a bolt is actually good for the elementalist. What am I saying? How about thief? How about that? Thief have a different sword. Well, I mean, you guys know what I'm saying. Like, yeah. So my point is that legendary weapons are not normally going to be used anyways in terms of their skin. Like, I mean, some people might, but some people might not. It's up to the creators or the people who are playing the game. For me personally, I will use the legendary skin because that's the only way to show off that I actually have a legendary item. But other people might feel differently. So yeah, Gen 3, I just think let's just see how they're gonna implement it. I think it's gonna be fine. I don't mind that it's all gonna be themed Arene, but yeah, we'll just see how it's gonna go. But again, personally, I probably won't be getting any of it since I already have all the legendary weapons, and I don't really care much about the Arene skin. So most likely I might not get it. Maybe I'll get it. Maybe I won't. We just have to wait and see whether it comes out and how good it looks. So yeah, that's the Gen 3 legendary. Next off is the strike missions. I always like the strike missions that they put. It's just single bosses and counters, and you just do the mechanics. So yeah, I like it. It's not too bad. And they're adding challenge modes on the strikes, so that will be interesting to see. And yeah, again, strikes are normally missions that are getting you ready for raids. So we'll see what kind of strike missions they're gonna add. There is probably it might be more interesting than the other strikes that we had. But yeah, it's good daily to do for strike missions. And then next off, we have the new guild halls. I can't wait for this. Oh man, but they announced that there's a new guild hall, but they never announced that there were going to be any new features to the guild hall. Like, I really want the guild halls to have like a bank. I know that crafting, you could go to the crafting scribing station and you can access the bank that way, but I want a bank trading post in there, like the convenience stuff. But I mean, you could like put them like, somewhere far away from each other so it doesn't void the use of having those convenience items that cost 1,000 gems or something like that. But again, building up a guild hall already costs a lot of gold. So if you already have a guild hall, you might as well put a trading post and a bank in there too, and and have more utilities in there like crafting stations, like for other disciplines instead of just scribing. But yeah, I really wanted more content for the guild halls, not just the encounters and the new aesthetics for this guild hall. But yeah, we'll just have to see what they're gonna do with that. But I highly doubt that they're gonna add anything new to the guild hall, which is a shame. But yeah, we're just gonna have to live with that. And again, we're like almost 6 months away from the release. 6 months away from the release, so they have a lot of time for them to change their minds and what they're gonna do with the release of the guild halls. So yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. But from what I saw from the trailer, it does seem like the guild halls looks pretty decent. I will probably, or my guild will probably try to get that guild hall as well. And next off is the elite specializations being revealed throughout 2021. This is good because they are like keeping the hype or Guild Wars 2 alive. And when they do this slow release date, that means people are going to talk about Guild Wars 2 during the release cycle. So it will not be like if they revealed it all at once, then people will stop talking about it. The algorithm of YouTube will stop showing Guild Wars 2, and that wouldn't be good for the game. So the way they are just trying to release it throughout the months, will keep Guild Wars 2 on YouTube, on social media, like more active than if they were to release it all at once. And my opinion about the the pistol necromancer, like I'm not a main necromancer, but I've seen a lot of main necromancers in the comments saying like, oh boy, they don't like the pistol's idea because like pistol is not normally a weapon that characters use to as a main weapon. But we just have to see what kind of traits that go along with that specialization to see whether it's good or not. I mean, sometimes when we use specialization, we won't even use the specialization weapons. So just like the Dragon Hunter, we barely use the bow except for in PvP or World versus World. But if you did PvE, nobody uses the longbow. They just use the core weapons, and they use the Dragon Hunter traits. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see to that. And the Mesmer has been confirmed as a dagger, and oh man, like seriously, people were debating whether that's a spear. Like I don't understand how there are so many. Like I saw wooden potatoes, what is it, a pole, and like a lot of people thought that spears were coming into the game on land. And I'm like, what, are you serious? Those are daggers. Like and for them to implement spears into the game, it's like you're gonna have to add it, like I guess for every other character. I guess I don't know. I don't know. But like, really, spears? It's obviously daggers. Like, oh man, like to have a big discussion over whether the Mesmer is holding a spear or a dagger was I don't know. For me, it was like, really. But anyways, to each their own. Maybe some of you guys really thought it was a spear, but I mean, it was a dagger, and it just revealed that it were daggers. So yeah, and then we're gonna have meta events similar to Heart of Thorns. That is exciting. I love Heart of Thorns maps. I did not like Path of Fire maps. A lot of people thought that Path of Fire maps were like good for solo players, and I guess, but it may be good for solo players to adventure and do the map like once, but after they done it, it's like there's no reason to go back to them. The meta events are not rewarding. The maps are long. Not a lot of people are, on those maps. If they are able to implement something like Heart of Thorns, like have map currencies that work towards legendaries, then maybe a lot of people will start doing them again. But yeah, we'll see how they're gonna do those. those meta events in those maps. So I think they're gonna do well. Hopefully, I don't know who designed Path of Fire, but it was good solo content, but it wasn't good replayability content. We want something like Heart of Thorns if we're gonna replay maps. So yeah, and then we got, oh yeah, they also announced that Guild Wars 2 End of Dragons is not the end. I repeat, it's not the end of Guild Wars 2 life. So in my opinion, I think Guild Wars 2 is gonna see way more content in the game. I don't think there will ever be a Guild Wars 3. I mean, just look at World of Warcraft. They've been out for a very, 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 very long time, and they still haven't made a World of Warcraft 2. So I think Guild Wars 2 is going along that route, since they are upgrading the Direct 9 or to 11. If they're doing so much to the graphics of this game and trying to upgrade the core game into something like more modern, most likely they aren't planning on releasing a Guild Wars 3 anytime soon. So you don't have to worry about whether to start this game or not, and you think that this game is dead because the devs aren't working on it. But they confirmed that they are working on it, so that might set you guys, calm your nerves down and basically allow you to keep playing the game and welcome more new players. So yeah, there's gonna be plenty of content that is coming to the game. That's what they said. And on August 17, they're gonna allow us to play beta versions of the specializations. I think they allowed us to only play like maybe 3 specializations, but obviously not all of them, because I don't think they have enough time to announce all of them before 17. Again, we don't want them to announce it all at once because we want people to keep talking about Guild Wars 2, so more new players will come into this game before the release of End of Dragons. Remember, more revenue for ANET, the more they can put it back into the game and make it better, and hire more employees to work on different game modes, and then eventually SPVP and World versus World can maybe get their own team, and we'll see more updates for them as well as PvE at the same time, like huge updates. I hope to see that someday. All right guys, that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, these are my thoughts about Guild Wars 2. Again, remember, let me know down in the comments down below about any of these topics and what you think about them, and yeah, I'll get back to you, and good luck on your adventures, on all your legendaries out there, and okay, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.